Mike just said that he talked to you about, you get traded within the division. That tells you what the team thinks about you. Did you take that personally? Do you carry that with you in games like this?
Absolutely. Like we just talked about with Jerry, it was extra motivation, extra important for us to get this win, but also on a personal level to perform well, to kind of show them what they gave away, and I'm excited about it.
Chris, were you surprised they went for two, and what was the defensive plan? What was the mindset, figuring out what they were trying to or going to do there?
Yeah, I mean, being with the Ravens for 3 years, they were a very analytical team, and I'm guessing that's what they went with on that 2-point play. It was a good play. Mark was open, but TJ caused the pressure. Lamar kind of dropped his shoulder a little bit and threw an awkward pass, and didn't complete the pass. But I wasn't surprised. I knew that's how they like to run things there, and they went for it.
At one point in the first half, I think plays were 30-6 in their favor.
Yeah.
Were you guys getting a little winded, and how did that turn around in the second half?
I don't know about winded, but I know that there was one drive that was 18 plays. And anytime you're out there for 18 plays, you get a little tired. But, our offense in the second half especially drove the ball, and that helped us out tremendously. But, yeah, that first half, get a little tired, but we had a good rotation going. And I was pretty amped for it, so my adrenaline was pumping pretty good.
Mike Collins said the Ravens bring out the best in the Steelers and vice versa. Did you sense that, and is there a way you guys can figure out what it was that made you more competitive today and more representative and keep dialing it up the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think we just had a sense of urgency, but anytime you play the Ravens and the Ravens play us, there's a lot on the line. Division, playoff spots, just pride of beating a rival team. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought game.
Against Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the biggest thing that we talked about just a couple of questions ago, is just continuing that momentum, continuing that style of play that we play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We struggled the last couple of weeks, and it's nice to see us perform that way because we know we can, and when we do that, it's hard to beat us.
There was a lot of talk after the Bengals game just about what the response would be in practice. Did you notice a change in attitude or energy or anything in the week leading up to this game?
Yeah, especially after when you lose to a division opponent, you have another one coming up the following week. You're like, we got to pick our stuff up. We got to be on our P's and Q's. We got to watch extra film. We got to continue to do things that we can, like especially against the Browns. They were a really good rushing team. Baltimore the same. So that mentality has to continue for the next 5 weeks. And I think when you get your butts whooped like you did against the Bengals, you want to get that sour taste out of your mouth as quick as possible.
When's the last time you had 2.5 sacks in college?
I think it was maybe Rutgers, 2016, and the Ravens' offensive line is a little better than Rutgers was back then.
When did you guys know that TJ was going to come back and be able to go this week, and just what was the last 48 hours like with him not being around, Cam being out, and just a lot of uncertainty? Yeah,
when you have that uncertainty on your team, you kind of next man up mentality. Cam came back, TJ came back the same day, which when especially TJ, who didn't have that preparation throughout the week, he continues to ball out like he has, and I'm thankful for him to be here. I'm thankful for Cam, obviously, to be healthy, and we're going to need everybody for the next 5 weeks.
How big was that interception, your guys' first possession with Minka? I mean, did it give you guys much of a boost? They drive all the way down there and they come away with nothing there?
Absolutely. When we were kind of on our heels a little bit, they were driving, they were moving the ball, getting those third downs, converting on those. Minka's one of the best safeties in the league, so for him to step up the way he has these last couple of weeks, he had a pick last week against the Bengals. It's encouraging because we're going to need someone like him for the next 5 weeks. So when you get a stop like that, that was a big, I think, momentum shift for the defense for sure.
Bringing out the best in people, but this was the first introduction to it for a lot of your guys, like Adams and Tuska and Witherspoon. Those guys made big plays tonight. What did you see from those guys that was kind of maybe their first time through these?
Yeah, those guys stepped up big. Montravius got here on Tuesday, I think, and played a really good game, I think, from the nose standpoint. He stuffed the run. He made a really athletic play towards the Ravens sideline for like a 1-yard game when it could have been maybe 15 to 20 if he wasn't there. So I'm excited for him. But I think this sets the tone, especially for the rookies. Dan Moore, who's probably going to be here for the next 10 years or more, going up against their rookie 99, who's had a hell of a season already. Just being introduced in that way, Big Muth doing what he does, and just setting the tone for the next decade for those guys is going to be exciting.
Two more guys? Anybody?
Arthur Freeman had success in the first, drive, and then you guys really, I think, patched things up. Was there something said, or was it any schematic changes, or just more fundamentals? Was there anything that changed after that sequence?
I just think we settled in a little bit as a defense. Those first 10 to 15 plays are scripted for the offense, and once that was, done and over with, we kind of settled in, like I said, and but no real big adjustments, just going out there and playing ball. But yeah, he had some good runs. He had some good check down passes for first downs that we really eliminated in that second half. But yeah, it was nice to see us not allow that to happen for the next 2 quarters.
One more? Anybody?
Obviously, there's big wins. How important was that, and especially the response after the way you guys played last week?
Huge win. Anytime you play that team, that rivalry, that it's a battle, and that's what that game is. I mean, that was kind of the perfect Ravens-Steelers game, if you will. And so, huge win for us, especially at home against that team. Like you said, especially after last week. Great bounce back by everybody. Just so proud of everybody.
I'm hoping you can speak to either the accuracy or the relevance of the report that says that you've told everybody that you're going to be done after this year.
Well, I haven't told everybody that. Honestly, we just got done with this game. I'm exhausted, and we play in a couple hours, it feels like. And so that's my focus. My focus is on Minnesota and what we have to do to get ready. I'll address any of that stuff after the season. I've always been a one game at a time, one season at a time person, and I'm going to stay that way.
Ben, you talked about approach. Is it hard to do the one game at a time and not think about?
No,
this might be the last
I've been doing it for a long
Ravens
time. I've enjoyed this game and this game specifically, and winning at home in front of our fans. It's awesome.
Ben, you talk about bounce back. How about Deontay today? Drops the touchdown pass and then caught everything.
Yeah, he's that's what I talked about before the game. I said, I kind of told the guys without going into great detail, you can go against teams sometimes that are better than you or equal to you in terms of skill. What's going to separate you is your heart. And I think tonight we had guys that showed a lot of heart. He's one. You drop that ball and then he comes back and makes a bunch of tough catches, a bunch of physical type plays, running for extra yards. And I'll speak on him, but other guys too. I mean, Leglue comes in and at left guard early in the game, and steps up and does some amazing things. I mean, we have to run the ball on that last drive a bunch, and I mean we threw, but we had to run the ball. And Benny Snell comes in and makes some big runs. I told Naj, on the going to the last drive, I think, or the second to last one, that he's going to enjoy this rivalry for a long time, and it's his opportunity now to set his mark, the physicality of what it means, and I thought he did amazing. So everyone stepped up and made a play today, and that's what makes me the most proud of this group.
Cam said you got the game ball, and I'm sure you've gotten many over the years. Is this one any special?
Yeah, kind of caught me off guard. I don't think that I deserve it. I think a lot of guys deserve it, and we deserve it as a group. But it's always humbling when you play this team at home and coach recognizes you like that. So it's kind of cool.
And how much no huddle? 2 minute, which you did. How much is that you? Is it partly Matt? And do you think that that's where you play your best?
It was, there was some of it today. Some of it's just him kind of calling the play in my ear and us not huddling, and so I think that he called a really, really good game today. Some of the plays down the stretch were I was even surprised when he called, the naked and then some of the other plays. But I thought he did a great job, and so I'm just happy with the victory. I'm sure he is too.
Do you feel quarterback draw, did he?
Do you feel? Do you feel you play your best in that situation though, when it's quick?
I think we all. When you're playing that style of offense, I know we've talked about this in the past. Like they tend to get more vanilla, and you kind of dictate what they do a little bit more. So that's why sometimes you can take advantage of things in that mode of offense.
In the first half, the Ravens defense was kind of constricting you guys, almost loading up the box. What was the key in that second half, fourth quarter, to be able to change that and open up the field for you?
We went to a lot of run-pass options. The line blocked. Naj ran really hard, so did Benny. And when we got it to the outside, guys made plays.
To the booth, unless I'm mistaken.
On the other side of my family, yeah, I just told Matt, great call. Giving him props for a great call.
Ben, is there a way you can unlock some of this competitiveness and heart and all the stuff you guys talk about after these big Ravens games and apply it to a Kansas City or a Tennessee or a Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, we need to, every game is as big as this one. Yes, this week is not AFC North Ravens game, but it's still kind of a must-win. We've been saying that now. That every game that we've got moving forward is a must-win for us. And so it's never easy to play in 4 days. I mean, half the time I don't even practice on Thursdays, let alone play a game. So, but we're all in the same boat, and we got to go out there and do what we can.
And when you're making decisions every year about whether or not you're going to come back, I imagine this is the feeling. Do you savor these moments anymore?
You should always savor moments like this, and I try and reiterate that to guys, whether you're in your first year, your 5th year, your 20th year. You should always appreciate this moment because God has blessed me in an amazing way that I can throw a football like not many people in the world can, and guys can run and catch and do things that not many people can. And we should always count our blessings that we're able to do this. And so you never know when it is going to be taken from you, as we unfortunately have seen. And so I just think that we all should really take advantage of these opportunities, win, lose, or draw, to just be appreciative of the opportunities we get out here to play football.
Ben, how much can a game like this and a win, the way that it happened, be a momentum for you guys offensively and defensively going forward down this
We'll
stretch?
see. It's kind of – I'd like to think that it will help to say, okay, listen, this is what we can do. This is what we need to do. But you never really know till you get going. So hopefully I can maybe answer that in a couple of weeks if things are going well.
Ben, you guys scored to take the lead, and there was still how nerve-wracking is it? Because you can't really do anything about it after you've already scored a touchdown. You have to sit there and watch. How tough is that?
Yeah, a lot of praying. They jumped off sides on purpose to get the first down, to keep the clock, to avoid all the timeout stuff. Smart play, I guess. And at one point before that play, I think it was before that play, but Naj asked me, he goes, "Hey, if I get a chance, do you want me to score or take a knee?" I mean, we're thinking about those things, as the game's unfolding, because you don't want to. All of us have seen their games. You see what happens when you give Lamar too much time, and so you do get a little nerve-wracked. I think we had on the one naked play, we had Derek Watt in the kind of the back corner of the end zone, and I thought about it, and if it was any other point in the game, I probably would have thrown it, but it was like, man, I just didn't trust myself to make that play. Got to Gentry, he gets a couple yards, and you're just thinking, listen, how can we use the time? I wouldn't have cared if we would have got down to kick a field goal with a couple seconds left, but we scored, and then you sit there and wait for your defense to do what they did, and it gets scary as they get closer, and then they go for 2, and you think about Friday's practice where we go with 7 shots every day or every Friday, and just glad that our defense stepped up.
If you considered it scored there, would you have wanted to go for 2?
If we're in the roles reversed, sure, I love it. I don't have much energy left for an overtime.
Did you consider declining that?
I mean,
offside?
I don't know that I can make that decision, and I don't think at the time coach was thinking. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. Can you? I've never heard anyone decline on offsides, but maybe.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, there we go.
Who'd you tell Harris?
Naj?
He asked you that.
What
point of the drive was it?
It was the last drive. Like, I don't remember which. I mean, it was there towards the very end.
Before first and goal, right?
Yes, I believe so. And I realized that once you realize that they were firing off the ball and trying to stop, I was like, they're not going to let you score, Naj, so just get what you can and do what you got to do.
And were you surprised they went for 2?
You know what? Coach Harbaugh, Miami, Ohio guy, nothing surprises me. And that's why he's, I consider him a great football coach, because he takes those chances and believes in his team. And as a player, I'm sure they love that belief in them.
Anyone else?
This is the second time you've played, you shared a field with Lamar Jackson. I don't know if fun's the right word. What's it like to, compete, go, drive for drive in the fourth quarter against a guy of that magnitude?
He's special. I just got to see when I get home if my son still thinks I'm a favorite quarterback, or if he liked that guy better. So we'll see.
All right. Thanks, Ben.